Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos. As we begin to conclude the festival of Sukkot, we enter Simchat Torah, the rejoicing of the law, where we celebrate with Torah, reading from Torah, learning Torah messages. Actually, this Friday night, we're going to be unrolling our Holocaust Torah, enwrapping the congregation with it, and reading portions of it. Also, we have a fantastic klezmer band. But I wanted to show you this small Torah, which has so much meaning. This is from the military, and the Jewish chaplain would take this Torah to those soldiers, even on the front line, and would have them hold this Torah and kiss the Torah and recite Shema. This Torah has been to the battlefront. This Torah has been to Israel. And I'm going to unroll it now just a little bit with the help of Jared, who happens to be right here. This is Jared, in case you don't know Jared, the man behind the scenes. And we unroll this Torah scroll. There are places in this scroll, by the way, where there are actually some blood stains, and actually you can almost see where somebody touched the Torah and held the Torah. We're going to be reading on Friday night from the very end of Devarim, which is Moses' ascending Har Nebo and looking into the future, not being able to set foot in the Promised Land, but actually anticipating a glorious future. And then we go right to the beginning, and we go to Bereshit. Of course, that's the beginning of the world. 6 days, every day God creates, and every day God says, it is good. It is very good. Except when God creates a man and a woman. God doesn't, thank you, Jared. When God creates a man and a woman, God says nothing. It's Gornish, if you know Yiddish. It's not that man and woman are not good, it's just that we have the freedom to choose that which is good or bad. We have freedom of choice. There's a very moving story, which some of you may have heard, that Elie Wiesel told. And I tell this because we are going to also be unrolling the Holocaust Torah. When he was in the concentration camp, the one holiday they knew was coming and they wanted to celebrate was Simchat Torah. But obviously in the death camps, there was no Torah. So there was one older man, and Wiesel, when he said older man, he said the concept of young and old had no meaning actually at that time. But there was one who was very versed in Torah, and he looked around and he saw this little 5-year-old boy, and he said to him, do you know anything from the Torah? And the boy said, I know a lot from the Torah. He said, well, do you know the Shema? He said, I know the Shema. I can sing the Shema. He said, if you know the Shema and you know some of the Torah, then you're going to be the Torah. And that's when they carried this little boy up in the air, and they sang and they rejoiced. And Elie Wiesel would say it was the most moving Simchat Torah of his lifetime. But if you want to be moved and touched, join us this Friday night. Be part of the celebration. Because we Jews are free. We can celebrate. We can read Torah. We can learn from Torah. No one is telling us we cannot. And there have been times in Jewish history when that was the message. So we have a lot planned for this weekend. Friday, Tat Shabbat, consecration, Simchat Torah. Saturday at 1 o'clock, there's a Simchat Torah just for you in support of special needs service. Saturday evening at 7:30, Havdalah, as we begin Community Mitzvah Day, Havdalah at the JCC, and then all day on Sunday, all those various mitzvot that you can perform, including the opportunity to swab once again. Be with us this weekend and create these positive Jewish memories for your children, your grandchildren, and for yourselves as well. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.